Yeah, really proud of the group. Obviously, coming off of a road loss and coming home in front of the fans here in Nashville, I thought a really positive performance from the opening minute to the end. A lot of there is a lot of, I would say, individual firsts in this game, but this was a true team performance. And a lot of things that we've worked on, and a lot of a lot of the areas that we want to continue to get better in, I think came out tonight. But really, just really proud of the response from the group, starting the game, and then obviously with missed penalties early. You saw the way that the team just rised continued to rise in the face of that adversity. So again, a testament to the guys in the locker room. A complete performance by everybody.
Thanks, Coach. We'll start with that and just go down the line. Go ahead and ask two questions if you guys have.
Yeah, BJ, I just kind of wanted to ask. You mentioned the two missed penalties. It's felt through the first couple of games like you guys were getting closer and closer to finding the back of the net, and then at some point the chances were going to lead to a goal. I'm curious, what was your kind of reaction seeing the first penalty saved and then getting a chance again and seeing that saved? Just can you walk me through what you were feeling on the sideline?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the feeling I have is there's chances out there, and we're gonna keep creating them. And so, of course, there's a moment there that you have to make a choice, and how do you want to respond to it? And I think everybody out on that field tonight responded in a really positive way, and only double down to be more aggressive and to not be denied. And so again, credit to the group in the way that they sort of handled it. And I think at the end the score line rewarded a really good performance tonight.
And then I wanted to ask about Eddie. We saw him kind of end the Red Bulls game in more of that central role. Tonight, I think he covered something like 8 miles or maybe a little bit more than that, but also just really good on the ball. What did you make of his performance, and how important was he to kind of making things tick in the final third?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you work almost backwards. So you saw his ability to make that little final pass to Andy that leads to the goal. But at the same time, he's everywhere, intercepting balls, second balls. Yeah, so I think he's a player that is a high energy player. Is comfortable on the ball. Did a really good job tonight, linking us, I think, from the back sort of into the front. And then his energy is contagious, and it lifts the team. And I think you saw a lot of guys put in really good. I would say really good efforts on both sides of the ball in all phases.
PJ, even though you mentioned that it's a full effort tonight on the team, there were obviously some individual efforts that pretty much caught our attention. So, Sam, I mean, I was like thinking you were only able to play a few minutes in the last couple of games for reasons you had. Today you decided to make him a starter. What do you tell us about his performance for a full game tonight?
Yeah, I thought in the first half it was him and Andy still trying to figure each other out a little bit, and then you can see he's a guy who I think mirrored what the rest of the team was about. He continually tried to get on the ball. He was trying to run behind. He was running from right all the way across the field to the left, and he wasn't going to be denied tonight. And then you can see the goal that he scores is almost in the near post, coming from the weak side with a great run in the penalty box. So our left back hits our right winger for a goal. I think a really good performance, and I think it's a credit to the team in the way that they're going about each week here, and we can put in multiple players. Everybody, different guys are getting different chances, and the level's not dropping. I think it's only getting higher, and we want to just use this as a this feeling that we have tonight, winning, as just a motivation to even be more hungry and continue to drive this thing forward.
Now, when you're there on the bench, of course, and you've been working all week long to try to see how this team starts scoring goals and taking those opportunities and actually make them count, and you see those 2 penalty kicks missed. What was your thought process at that point?
I mean, my thought, the penalty, drawing the penalties is a result of good attacking play and threatening in behind. So for me, we're just looking at this as we're executing what we want to do. And if we continue to do it, it'll come. So we don't, as a group, we don't get hung up on sort of the adversity that kind of hits us. We just look at it as the ability to respond to it and just say, hey, this is actually a positive, right? The positive is we're getting in really dangerous chances, and I think we were stressing their back line at that time, and we're just going to continue to keep pushing and go for it.
BJ, the counter pressing is a clear step up that we've seen. As soon as y'all lose the ball, it's like everybody's working, and I know it's a team effort, but it's not common, I guess, for strikers to be one of the leading people to get that ball back. But Sam Surge today, I thought, was always really fighting in terms of that counter pressing. So can you just, how important is it for everybody out there, including your striker or maybe star player or DP or whatever, to be putting in that work?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's, we have a saying that everybody attacks, everybody defends. So it is a demand that we put on every single person, and every person has a role in that counter press, and I would say that's sort of just the standard in our norm. And I think highlighting Sam doing that work is tremendous, but for us, we know it's just part of how we go about the way that we want to play. And I think tonight when you see that ability from the group to hunt the ball right when we lose it, you can create more chances that way. And that if we want to get more scoring chances and forwards want to score more goals, then let's be motivated to win the ball back as much as we can.
And you just got your first win of the season. Really simple. Just how does it feel?
Yeah, great. I mean, again, I think right now we're constantly seeing small little improvements in the group. So it's rewarding to get the result. That's what we're here for, to reward the work and effort that we're putting in to validate, what we're doing each day is good enough to get results. But at the same time, I think the feeling that we have in the locker room right now makes us we're not really satisfied with it. Where I think we're just going to be hungry to keep getting this, to keep having this feeling. That's why we do what we do. And so I think it's just going to actually make us more hungry and more committed and double down even more on what we're doing.
Yeah. BJ, you attacked a lot with a lot of lofted passes over the middle, over the top of the Portland back line, and had a lot of success, seemed like a lot of success putting pressure on them with those passes. What did you see from Portland that made, those passes so fruitful tonight?
I think it's more focused on us. Things that we've identified, kind of evaluating the past matches, is that we needed to try to run and exploit space behind the back line a bit more. So we were pretty intentional in doing that, and I think the credit to the guys, especially the front four, of relentlessly running back there, and then you had some guys being able to look up and play them, and then that I think lends itself to start creating some counter-pressing moments and trying to sustain attacks in the attacking half. So again, I think it was just more of us being very intentional through the week and being focused on that.
And Gaston Brugman making his first appearance coming off the bench tonight. What do you hope he can start to bring now to the club, now that he's starting to be incorporated into the group and playing games again?
Yeah, I think what you saw in the short moment of Gaston is he has a calming presence to the game. He's a forward passer. He can play balls in behind like he does to Johnny, which is a near miss, or he can break lines on the ground into the pockets. So again, a guy that we're going to continue to integrate into the group. And with that said, I think he did a great job defensively. Second balls, closing down, even just little interceptions or deflecting passes when you're trying to kill a game are all little plays that add up to a big result.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, guys. We'll be back shortly with Lock Mike this time.
Great. Thanks, guys.